Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get into it. Welcome to TBM Sports. I'm Mark. I will be giving you my best bets for Saturday, May 24th, as well as we will run the entire MLB card to talk about kind of what's going on in the wide world of sports betting, and I will recap yesterday's plays as always. Okay, so let's get right into it. For those of you that are new to the channel, okay, make sure you all, please, I really do appreciate all of my subscribers. If you can, help us out here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us at TBM Sports. Completely free to do so. Okay, I do give you guys some premium content, don't charge for picks, and I want to share with you guys my thoughts and insights as it revolves around today's card. So let's get into it. I am going to use Outlier to break down the entire slate. There is a link for a 7-day free trial. If you have not checked them out, make sure you do. One of the best tools in the industry for my money. Okay, so we will get it going, talk about the first game that we will have coming up to you guys live. But first, a quick recap from yesterday. We went 1 and 2 on the card. So that's something where we did hit an over. For those of you that, in the comments saying that the overs are not a winnable thing that I do give out, well, we won one. And there are a lot of overs that we do cash, and it's unfortunate. So if you do end up on the losing side of that every once in a while, apologies, but I can hit an over, just so you guys know. All right, so we have the Miami-LA game going over. Detroit kind of laid another dud at home, 2 straight losses to the Guardians, and James Wood didn't get off the bus. Okay, so yeah, he got goose-egged over at the dish, and that was kind of an anomaly as we saw an under in that Washington game. But we'll go into today's card. There are a few games that I like from a viewing perspective. I got to be honest with you guys, though, from a betting perspective, this is a tough little Saturday we have going on. A lot of coin flips, a lot of mismatches where we do have some lopsided lines. So I found my angles. This is one where I put a little bit more time in searching, more so than just looking at the numbers at face value that I do have, my power rankings, as well as some of the metrics that I do look at and study. It's an off card, right? Sometimes they get it right. Also, Saturday's more of a prime time, more of a volume day for the books. So I think they also kind of gear up a little bit, in my personal opinion. So you're going to get a little tighter odds than you would, say, on a Monday or a getaway day during the midweek. Okay, so let's get into the board. And we'll talk about that first game. Baltimore does have 2 going on today. This is one where you look into the makeup. We see the first game that will be Zach Eflin going against Dobbins, okay? And that's something that I want to talk about right now, because I think that this is something where I can find some solace in the Red Sox, okay? We look at Baltimore, what they were able to do recently, okay, and this is something where you look into dropping 4 of their last 5. Boston, on the other hand, putting up 19 runs against Baltimore. That was one where, I did give out a lot of leans yesterday, and as I was watching these games during the day, a lot of the leans, I was like, darn, I wish I would have bet some of those games, because a lot of those totals and sides that ended up coming through, and this was one that definitely blasted through, as I did lean towards the over in the Baltimore game yesterday against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox were victorious 19-5. But we're going to be on the side of the Red Sox here, minus 110, too cheap of a price at home. I think this is more so a fade against Zach Eflin and also a fade against the O's bats. Okay, so we'll take the Red Sox at home. Let's look for them to keep this one going again. I think the Red Sox stay hot. Rafi Devers has been phenomenal at the dish. 2 home runs yesterday, I believe, but we'll take the Red Sox here at a short home price, minus 110 as my first official bet. Next game, we're right back into it. Okay, we will have an official play in this one as well. This one will be on the heels of Michael Wacha going on the road to face the Twins and going against Zebby Matthews. So Zebby Matthews, kind of looking at this young righty with the call-up, big pitcher, but I want to talk about kind of what he's been doing. 1 start, okay, he only went 3 innings, gave up 4 earned, and Minnesota's kind of, from a roster standpoint, they're kind of lacking, all right? I think Byron Buxton is out of this one, and there's a couple other things to note within this game that I did want to make a mention of, okay? This is where you look into kind of the Twins and how they've been profitable. They've been one of the better teams. They were streaking. They were getting it done. They were on I believe it was a 12-game win streak, maybe. Something like that. I think they won 12 straight. But all streaks come to an end, and I think the Royals here, very nice little attractive plus 105 on the money line here, going on the road against a pitcher where I think they do have the better form. I think that Michael Wacha on the road, I do trust that a little bit more. All we need, though, in this game, we need the Royals bats, okay? So I'm telling you guys, the Royals are the correct side. I don't trust the back end of the Twins bullpen. I think that the Royals, this is the correct side. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, doesn't mean it's a lock, but I will tell you guys the Royals here are the correct side, plus 105. So we're going to trust the numbers. We're going to hope for a win here in this spot. Minnesota won yesterday against Kansas City, so we have a little bit of a zigzag going on as well. I do think this will be a lower scoring affair, possibly, unless the Royals just completely outshine and outpace Zebby Matthews and they surpass their team total. Then we can look into a situation where the Royals potentially could cover this themselves, but we'll take them on the money line, plus 105 as a best bet, okay? Next game we want to talk about, this one will be the St. Louis game going against Arizona. Merrill Kelly going against Matthew Liberatore. We have a interesting matchup because the Cardinals kind of derailed the Diamondbacks yesterday, and there was one where I personally didn't see that one coming. I've got to be honest with you guys. I thought the Diamondbacks on the road were a little bit attractive. They won 4-3, so the Diamondbacks did come back late. But it's been a lower scoring kind of stretch here for the Diamondbacks going against the Dodgers and the Cardinals. A little bit of a road streak as well. And I think that St. Louis, they've been failing to score runs a little bit as well. You could look into the fact possibly going under this total of 8, but no official play for me. I think it's another one of those coin flip games. St. Louis at home, it is something where you could look for the Diamondbacks to bounce back. That's probably where I would lean to. Merrill Kelly, I think, is a little bit better of an option, and the Diamondbacks bats can get hot out of nowhere. So I would lean Diamondbacks coming off of a loss, but no official play. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, very interesting. We look at kind of Mitch Keller, 1-6 on the year, 3.88 ERA, and we want to talk about the Pirates here because they have been a horrible team ROI, and it's kind of streaky though, because if you look at them, they've won 3 out of their last 5. ATS though, 19-33 on the year. So remember that with the run line, very profitable to bet against the Pirates. And I definitely think that the Brewers are the correct side, especially with Pittsburgh winning yesterday 6-5. So another little zigzag for Milwaukee, as the Pirates winning 2 straight just does not seem like that makes a lick of sense. So would find myself leaning towards the side of Milwaukee, but no official play. Giants and Nationals. Okay, the Giants won, I believe, 4-0 yesterday. We do get Harrison going against Irvin for the Nats. Bounce back spot here for a lot of those bats. Like I said yesterday in my video, Helio Ramos and James Wood, very impressive. I would look to James Wood going back to the well, going 0 for 4, might even been 0 for 5, but no real production from that lefty there for the Nats. But I do like his bat. I do like his current form. So that would be one of the stat markets that I would kind of target from a prop perspective. Helio Ramos and James Wood, I like them both. I think this is one where we get a little bit of fireworks as well in this spot, but no official play. Okay, Cubs and Reds. This is an interesting one for us. We want to talk about this game a little bit more so in terms of a great pitching matchup. Okay, Andrew Abbott has been phenomenal, 1.8 ERA, and also 3-0 on the year. So Cincinnati at home. I know it is a hitter's ballpark, and we do get Rea on the other hand for the Cubs, 2.38 ERA. You look at this game, Cubs, Reds playing each other, it just screams over. But within this pitching matchup, I definitely think there could be more defense here. So we would look for that door to be shut, potentially going under the total of 9.5. Also, you want to look at 9.5 and talk about the Cincinnati Reds. In their last 10 games, 90% of the games have went under the total of 9.5. Same thing goes for the Cubs, about a 50% proposition where they have not scored 10 runs, and 50%. I know the Cubs offense can get hot, but going against Andrew Abbott, outside of being in Cincinnati, this game at face value just screams under the 9.5. So that would be a very strong lean, kind of defying the market trends as a lot of bettors look for the Cubs to be very offensively gifted from a day in, day out perspective. So that's kind of where I would look for the under in Chicago and Cincy, but no official play. Okay, going up the board, we're going to talk about Seattle and Houston. You can see the overwhelmingly amount of the support has been fading for Framber Valdez as the Mariners are taking the majority of the action there on the money line and the run line. Also, a very strong move to the under as 76% of the handle is on the under in this game. 7.5 is the total, and the Seattle Mariners come in at a plus 102 price. With Brian Wu on the bump, definitely where I would lean towards if you just want to bet against the Astros. It's a good spot to kind of target the Mariners. Mariners on the road, though, sometimes that does let you down. But I would lean towards the side of Seattle. That's the correct side. Doesn't mean it's going to win, but that is a strong lean towards Seattle. Okay. Going up the board as well, we're going to talk about San Diego and the Braves. This is a kind of a sneaky great pitching matchup, right? Michael King, one of my favorite pitchers in baseball, going against Grant Holmes, who has been very serviceable for the Braves. Now, as we talk about the Braves, Ronald Acuna, that is something where we look at Ronald Acuna. First pitch back off that ACL tear, he went yard. So that was a very good story, kind of a had to be a feel-good moment for him. One of my favorite players, if not my favorite player in the game in terms of being a five-tool player. Outside of Tatis pre-PEDs, I think this is something where, it was him and Ohtani and Acuna are really taking the world by storm, and you can even add Soto to that mix within their debuts. I believe it was 2018, 2019, all that came about just like this, and it's been very fun to watch these young players blossom here in the MLB. But in this game, I would look into Michael King as always within the strikeout props, but the Braves, they don't really strike out too often, okay? So keep that in mind. They are actually kind of in the last 7 days and in the season overall, the Braves, for as many as their offensive woes have been, they don't strike out. Okay, so as much as I'd like to target Michael King in the K market, it's going to be a game where we're not going to do it. 4-2 on the year, 2.59 ERA. Also, Grant Holmes. You want to talk about kind of where I would look into this. I potentially looked for the under in his strikeouts because San Diego fits that bill as well. If you want to talk about it more so, but that's something where they're middle of the pack in strikeouts last 7 days. So I wanted to go over that. I wanted to go over that prop. I would be leaning under the Grant Holmes strikeouts. I think it's set at 4.5, and that's kind of where I would lean towards the under 4.5. But he's going to give you 5, maybe 6 innings. If the Padres get to him early, I definitely see a way that goes under. It just, there really isn't too much room for variance. I do think Grant Holmes gets 4, so you would cash that plus money going under his strikeouts. But that's something where this game, for me, it's Padres or nothing, okay? And I know you guys hate that. I know you talk about the Padres not being profitable. Well, that's not the case. I think they're one of the best teams ROI. And if we want to look at them from a standpoint, guys, I know they let you down in a couple spots, but you can't ignore the fact that San Diego 28-21 against the run line. Okay, also just straight up 28-21, and the Braves 22-28. So this definitely sets up for a conversation to be had. Maybe even the Padres run line minus 1.5, backing Michael King. The Padres could black out. They could kind of just show up today. I think this is something where you're looking at that, and that's kind of where my head's at. I'm not going to bet it, but I do think the Padres show up today against Grant Holmes on the road and get this one done. Okay. Next game, Texas and the White Sox. We'll talk about that one a little bit. This is one where you talk the spread, 1.5 there. You got to lay with the Rangers on the run line for a minus 105 price. You're going to get that with the White Sox and the Rockies. This is one where the Rangers are minus 174 on the money line as well. And if you want to kind of look into what they've been doing lately, okay, we'll bring that up, and you can see the Texas Rangers winning 4-1 or losing 4-1 to the White Sox. So there was a lot of sharp money yesterday on the Rockies and the White Sox, and definitely did kind of make sense because both of those plus money big dogs, they came through. The Rockies beat the Yankees and the White Sox beat the Rangers. So shout out to them. It's something where it doesn't happen too often. Rockies got their 9th win of the season. We're going to talk about that one a little bit later on. I think it's the next game up. But this is no play for me. If it's anything looking like just a layup here, possibly. So if you want to back the Rangers, Yankees, a little money line parlay, just saying, hey, we can't lose 2 to the worst 2 teams in baseball, I don't mind that. It's something that definitely could be profitable, but no play for me within Rangers, White Sox. Okay, and that next game is the Yankees and the Rockies, and the Yankees, you're going to get the price that you think you would get because Max Fried is on the bump. Minus $3 plus for the Yankees if you want to back the stripes, and it's valid, right? Max Fried, that lefty there, 6-0, 1.29 ERA. I'm sure the Braves wish they had him back in that rotation. But you look at Fried going against Kyle Freeland, who has been absolutely abysmal, almost a 6 ERA, 0-6 on the season, playing in Coors. Yesterday I talked about it, and I did give it out as a lean, talking about the Judge home run prop, and he did come through. He had a home run, but plus 175, almost, I said he was due for a home run. He only had 2 in his last 10, and he went yard yesterday. But that is something where it's almost a lottery ticket. You want to bet home runs. It's not a full unit play if you do that, but Judge plus 170. Just can't get behind that, right? There's really no room for error, and it's, as good as a hitter as he is, it's just not something where it's going to be a profitable investment, just, hoping for a home run every single day. You just don't have it that way. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It's a lot harder than it looks, even though he will have that statistic kind of glaring, probably leading in a lot of the home run category year in and year out. Okay. But I looked for every single different angle to bet this Yankees-Rockies game. I looked at team total. I'm not going to lay 6.5 with the Yankees. I'm definitely not going to lay minus 3 runs, although that probably is the correct side today. Minus 3.5 is what you're going to have to lay to get plus 105. If anything, I would lay minus 3 flat for the Yankees. It's just something that I'm not in the business of doing that quite often. So I think what we're going to do here, and I am going to give out a little futures ticket here. If you were on it earlier, congratulations. But Max Fried in the Cy Young market, I think, is still a very nice, viable option. Not only does he have the backing of that mainstream media, garnering some votes from the voters there. If you want to back Max Fried in the Cy Young candidate race, I don't mind it. 6-0, 1.29 ERA. He's in the top 3 in that odds on favorite category. But also, we're going to look to favor him today in the earn run market. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm looking at. Okay, and if you want to go into this game, we're going to show kind of how this works. Go to player props, pitcher, right here on Outlier, and you can see kind of where we're at. I don't want to get behind the strikeouts. It's really set at a good number. But also, if we want to look at the earned runs, I know they're at Coors Field, so it does kind of allow for no room for error. They're going to probably, get a couple across, but I don't think maybe we get it from Max Fried. It could come on the back end of that bullpen, but the under 1.5 earned runs at plus 133, I think that's the best way to attack this game. 70% of the last 10 games for the Yankees, or for Max Fried, mind you, this has cashed. So we're going to go under 1.5 earned runs for Max Fried at plus 133. So hopefully he gets that one done at plus money. Would love to cash that ticket. And that would be a nice way to kind of start off the evening slate, as this is a 4:10 first pitch, kind of the last one before the 7 o'clock games. But we're going to go Max Fried under 1.5 earned runs in this game. Okay. Back to it. Let's get down the board a little bit deeper. The next game on the card, that second game for Baltimore and Boston, that is a pass for me. If we do see Giolito, I don't know how that rotation will actually shake out. That's something where you would look for, runs always. I think the Orioles, Red Sox in Fenway, we do get a lot of runs in that entire series, not just today. It's kind of not pitcher dependent either. I just think that we do get runs, but I won't be playing that, okay, in that second game. Blue Jays and Rays, this is interesting, right? I wanted to kind of get behind a couple Tampa Bay props that I did like, but Jose Barrios, I don't really trust him, okay? 1-1 on the year, 4.19 ERA, going against Shane Baz, okay? And then the Yankee Stadium Junior, as we like to call it, you look at Tampa Bay Rays, minus 116. I don't know. I kind of like the Toronto Blue Jays here, plus 100. Just don't really think this is a edge one way or another. It's a coin flip game. There's no real true value. So this will be a pass for me as well. Okay. Next one, Cleveland and Detroit. No name pitcher yet for the Tigers, and the Cleveland Guardians coming off 2 wins in a row against the Tigers. You look at kind of what we look at with Ortiz on the bump for Cleveland. Very streaky pitcher, but I don't think that that's going to last too long. Detroit minus 145. Not to lose 3 games straight. That's kind of where I would have the odds if I was handicapping this game. They have it right on the money. It's probably a little bit too high, so there's really no value in taking Detroit. But if you were going to bet this game, eventually Detroit has to win. I know that Cleveland kind of has their number historically, and I kept alluding to that, but we kept going back to the Tigers, and unfortunately not delivering on the money line. But I do think that the Tigers eventually do break out, and today could be one of those days. We're at home Saturday. They get this one done. So I would lean Tigers minus 145, just not going to get involved at that price. Dodgers Mets, another one of those primetime games. This one will be on Fox. Yesterday we had the Apple TV Plus game. Gonsolin going against David Peterson. Great pitching duel. Gonsolin 4.05 ERA, 2-0 on the year. You look at the Dodgers here, minus 105 or minus 102. Very, very cheap price. Okay, very cheap price for the Dodgers, who were able to break out yesterday. They got through a little bit of a rain delay, but they did score. They got the bats going, and I would kind of go right back to it. So I do favor Gonsolin going against David Peterson, albeit he's a lefty, and the Dodgers, I think their lefties are serviceable enough. You talk about Freddie Freeman, you talk about Shohei. I think they, the lefty on left splits, they're there. I think Freddie Freeman is one of those players that you really can't pitch around. And I just have a lot of confidence. I'm not going to. You look at the net lefty matchup and kind of get a little, thrown off my numbers. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think the Dodgers do prevail in this game, minus 102. I know a lot of people were on them yesterday, and that one did work out, so I would lean Dodgers minus 102 against the Mets, taking another game in this series, but no official play. Okay, the next game that I want to talk about before we get to the last one on the card, Phillies and the A's. Love the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez, 4-1 on the year, 3.1 ERA. The Athletics are kind of struggling a little bit as they do roll out Springs. I think that Philly, from that perspective, is going to have his work cut out for him. But, seeing this lefty go against what we look for within the Phillies club, I'm going to attack this from a prop perspective, and I'll show you guys why I'm doing this and what I'm leaning towards. But I'm not going to lay the minus 165 as much as I would love to, okay? But we're going to attack Kyle Schwarber, okay? I think the lefty on lefty, he has one of the best eyes at the plate. Very, very selective within his approach. And you look at kind of his walk stat. Now, this is one that's not too familiar of a bet, but going over his last 10 games, 70% of those last 10, he has had at least one walk, and I'm going to target that minus 145 on DraftKings. I know it's a lot of juice, but I just look at Jeffrey Springs. I think he's going to pitch around him. Schwarber's going to get another at-bat, more than the rest of the lineup, guaranteed, with where he hits in the lineup, and I could see him even starting off the game with a walk, personally. So I just think it's the way Springs pitches. He's going to be trying to slide over that off speed. It's something where as long as the umpire has a fair approach at the plate, it's a situation where I think Schwarber definitely gets a walk. So I have no problem laying the minus 145, and that will be my last official play in today's card. Okay. The last game, though, I do want to make a mention of it because it almost did make my card. I almost went right back to the well. 8.5 is still the total for the Marlins and the Angels. Juiced up a little bit. Today it's minus 115. Quantrill has been kind of pitching well, and so has Soriano, but they're facing each other. That does give a little bit of an opportunity for the Angels to break out. Not going to lay the minus 165 on the Halos, but I would lean over 8.5 in this contest. And going back to the over that we did cash on yesterday, that's where I would lend towards in this late night affair. 10:07 first pitch within the Marlins and the Angels. Okay, so that about wrap it up. That is my rundown of the entire card. Appreciate you guys that did stick around to the end of the video. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. I get to see the numbers, guys, and almost 50% of the people. So there's over 600 to 1,000 people every single video that are not subscribed to the channel. I know I see you guys. I actually go to my local sports book. I see guys making bets at the kiosk. A lot of people do recognize me. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. It's completely free to do so. I know this was a little bit longer of a video, but it is Saturday. We have a full card, and I really do appreciate everyone who is subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I want to know what you guys will be betting in today's card. Also, good luck with your tickets. We'll recap the card and my best bets. I did give out, the Max Young, Cy Young bet. If you are in the futures market, check out those odds. It's still a viable option. Anything you can find close to 4-1, I think is something where I would get involved. That's kind of my break point for a futures bet. If it's under 4-1, it's kind of has to be a really big advantage, where they have an overwhelming lead throughout. But if you're going to invest capital into kind of a longer term proposition, 4-1 kind of is my break even spot for futures. So that's where I would target Max Fried, but also going under his earned runs, 1.5 at plus 133, plus money on Kansas City money line plus 105, Boston minus 110 in that first game, and then Schwarber, we're going to go over a walk at minus 145, and that will be my 4 best bets for today's card. So appreciate you guys. Good luck with your tickets. Enjoy it. We get the Timberwolves and Thunder back in action, as well as the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes in the NHL. So we'll see some exciting action. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Good luck, and have a great rest of your Saturday. Cheers.